Hey up everyone, I hope you're doing alright and having a good day. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I need to figure out a new intro. For some reason, lately whenever I start recording, I have to re-watch my intros on YouTube because I'm just like, what do I even say in the beginning? I need to I've never really had an intro. I just started saying Eyup because that's how I would say hello to people. And it's just kind of stayed as that. Maybe I should have a proper intro, I don't know. Either way, we're sticking with the Eyup for now. But yeah, today we're going to be building my dream home. Kind of. The house actually turned out to be a lot bigger than I planned. It's actually massive and I don't think I would live in a house this big. But I thought, do you know what? I really fancied building a house that was in my style and not necessarily building it for a particular sim or a particular type of house. So sometimes when I come up with video ideas, I'll think I might think of what type of family would live in it, or what type of sim, maybe what job they had, or what the skills are, or, I'd base it off the world even, or maybe if I want to make a starter home, I'll, build it like that, so on and so forth. But for this, the video idea kind of started off as, I want to build a house that I would actually live in, and then I thought, why don't I try building my dream home? Because I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever actually built a house that I would absolutely love to live in. So I thought that's what I'd do. So I kind of built my ideal home, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. So I built it in the world of Brindleton Base, just seeing as it's my favourite world in The Sims 4. I love all the animals running around. I don't like the stray animals running around because it makes me want to adopt them, and you only have so many spaces in your household, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't like that aspect of it, but I do befriend all the stray animals and I always feed them and stuff. But yeah, I love Brindleton Bay. I think it's such a pretty world, and I thought that that's where I would build my house, so that's where we're building today. I didn't pack restrict the build at all, really. Seeing as it is my dream house, I kind of pictured that I've got free reign of what I want to do with it, and it's not really based in any sort of reality, I guess. I wouldn't actually live in this house exactly. It's just the ideal, I guess. I mean, if I had money for it, maybe I would, but I don't know. As you can probably tell, it turned out a lot bigger, or it turned out to be quite a big house. I mean, it's only 4 bedrooms, but it's massive. I don't think I could live in a house this big. I'd love to live in a 4-bedroom house, if I could afford it, but I don't know if I could live in a house that's this big as it is in The Sims. But that being said, I am really happy with how it turned out. I've been playtesting it and I've had a lot of fun playing in it with my Sim self, my partner, and then we got 2 dogs as well. So yeah, like I said, I didn't pack restrict the build. I just kind of did whatever I wanted. And yeah, so if you do want to download it, just keep in mind, I don't know what packs I use. I kind of just went with what I went with. And I did also use Journey to Batu in this build, only for these floor tiles, I think. I don't think I used anything else. Just because I saw them and it was the first time I saw them, and I thought, oh, I really like those. So I used them for the driveway and then the garden path. And I did sort of, as I was building it, I thought, seeing as I've used some floor tiles, I probably will use Journey to Batu stuff. I don't think I did, but I think when I play in this house off camera, because I'm going to move in my kids and stuff, I haven't built it with my kids in mind, and I'll explain that when we get onto the bedrooms. But when I play with my in-game family, my family that I've recreated in The Sims 4, I will probably put more Star Wars things from that pack, just because I have it, so I might as well use it. And we do have some Star Wars fans in this house, so yeah, I'll probably put some more things in. But yeah, I'll talk about the interior then as I've moved on to that. So the floor plan took me so long to decide. I used a floor plan, I found a floor plan on Google, and I kind of based the interior floor plan on that, but then I used images on Pinterest and just on Google Images basically of British houses, more for the colour scheme than anything. I did kind of want the house to look like a typical British house. I don't know if it really does anymore, honestly. I think it's definitely leaning more American, but I did my best. There's only so much you can do to make a British house in The Sims 4. You are obviously limited with what you've got. Despite having all the packs, I still struggle to make British houses. But yeah, the floor plan, I don't think it's, even though it's from a floor plan website, I don't know if it's a British house itself, and I'll kind of explain what I mean. So and this kind of does go for all British houses, I don't want to generalise, but at the same time, they are pretty much all built identical, just because they were all built around the same time, and we've kind of kept the same building like floor plans and designs and stuff for you know, for like regular people. Obviously if you bought like a massive mansion house, it's not going to be the same as my 3-bedroom house, but usually like when you walk into a British house, you've got the stairs straight away, and then they go up to like a landing space, and then you've got your bedrooms, and your bathrooms normally at the top of the stairs. Some people have a downstairs bathroom as well. In my house and in all the houses where I live, you just go straight upstairs. Like as soon as you walk in, you've got like your hallway and everything. This house doesn't have that. If you watch where I did a video where I built a British detached house, or a semi-detached house, I'll link it in a card. But if you look at that, the layout of that house is pretty much how all British houses are, and in like Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland as well, I imagine. But yeah, it took me a while, long story short, to do the floor plan, just because of the picture that I used. It was quite like difficult to understand where things were supposed to be, and it ended up being a lot bigger based on the floor plan as it did like in the game, so I had to like downsize it a little bit, and it still ended up way bigger than I intended. So yeah, but for the bedroom I just went with my sort of dream ideal bedroom. I started off with a basic like wallpaper, but the green just doesn't look right. Like I want to paint my bedroom green, but I want it like a sage green, so I ended up changing it to these bricks, these like base game bricks. I wouldn't have the bricks, and I wouldn't have wallpaper that looks like bricks either, but that colour wall is what I would have in real life. And then I use a lot of Dream Home Decorator in this build as well, seeing as it is, you know, kind of fitting actually that pack's called that, because it's my dream home. Use Dream Home Decorator a ton. It's my favourite pack for building. I love all the furniture. I do really like modern furniture, and I quite like mid-century as well, and I think there's some mid-century elements with that pack as well, but I do really like that pack, so I use that like the majority of that. But the thing that I really don't like about the pack, the modular furniture, especially like the bookshelves and the shelving, if you build some like bookcases like I have in the bedroom and then you close the game down, when you load the game back up, a lot of the times stuff's just missing, and it is so frustrating because then you've got to remember where you put stuff. And it happened a couple times because honestly, this build has took me like 2 days. I'm actually recording the voiceover at 20 to 5. Normally I post my video by now. I have just been so slow like over the past couple of days. I've really struggled to like concentrate on what I'm doing. It's just been a whole thing, but I finally got it done. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and you know, I got there in the end, so I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, then just moving on to one of the bedrooms. So obviously I have 2 children, but I didn't build this house with them in mind, just because I don't really want to put like what they like out there on the internet and like decorate a bedroom based on their personality. I'm very like private with that stuff, so I just made the bedrooms like guest bedrooms, and then I did one kid's bedroom, but it's not really like themed after anybody or like that. But I just wanted to do at least one kid's bedroom. It could also be a teen's bedroom as well. But the other 2 bedrooms, by the way, I don't know if I said, but it's a 4-bedroom house and it's got 2 bathrooms as well. But yeah, I didn't really have a theme in mind, so I just kind of made 2 guest bedrooms and then like 1 kid's bedroom, and then obviously you've got your main bedroom. So yeah, I just kind of decorated this one with my teen self in mind. So when I was a teenager, my favourite colour were like this exact shade of blue, like a denim type colour blue. So I just decorated it how I would have had my like ideal bedroom. When I was a teenager, I had a pink bedroom and I absolutely hated it. Well, like pink and purple. One wall was purple and the other was pink, but the shade of purple was like cool toned, and it did not look nice with the pink. The pink was like a magenta. It was horrible. I hated it. But yeah, it sounds really ungrateful like to my parents, like, oh, I hated my bedroom, but I think I asked for it, and then a week later I was like, why did I ask for that? And then I had to have it the whole time. So yeah, I thought I'd just decorate that bedroom like that. And then for the kids' bedroom, this was sort of, I think I saw a picture on the IKEA website ages ago where they had like this really peachy themed room, so I was kind of inspired by that. Not really like copy paste sort of inspired, but I just vaguely remember what it looked like the colour scheme and stuff, but not necessarily what it had in it. I know it had a desk and it had like that typical IKEA wardrobe, so that's why I used the wardrobe from Discover University, because that stuff's very like IKEA-ish kind of imagined that this would be either a teenager's bedroom or a child's bedroom, obviously. And they've got like a laptop where they can play on the laptop, and they can also play on the games console as well. And then they either sit on the bed or they sit on the armchair. I did play test it, and the Sims will actually play on the games console. And like I said, sometimes they sit on the bed, sometimes on the armchair, so they could have both either way. But yeah, I quite like this bedroom. Again, used a lot of Dream Home Decorator, and I also used quite a lot of Tiny Living, I think, as well. I'm pretty sure I did, although I might be wrong actually now I think about it. I'm trying to think like what packs I used, but I didn't really like think about it. I did use My First Pet stuff for the blinds just because I really like those blinds. I would use them more often, but I feel like not many people have that pack and not many people like that pack, so I kind of feel bad using it sometimes. But yeah, then just doing the other guest bedroom now, I guess. Also, if you want to download this house and you don't want, I mean, this goes for any of my builds. If you download any of my builds and there's something that you don't like about one particular room, you are always welcome to change it. But in this case, if you did want to keep the rooms as they are, you could have teenagers in the bedrooms that have got double beds, and you could also have a child. Like, there's no reason why a child sim can't have a double bed. I've definitely done that where I've had a family and they've got like a bit of a spoilt kid, and they have like they have like the biggest bedroom in the house, and they have like a full, you know, room dedicated or a floor dedicated to themselves, like the kid or whatever. Or even just like they're a regular family and they just happen to have, you know, 2 bedrooms. They've got 1 kid and that kid just gets all the attention and stuff, so they have a double bed. So yeah, I know I had a double bed when I was a kid until my brother was born. So yeah, it's definitely a thing that kids can have. That kids can have a double bed. I think just with Sims 4, I always build kids' bedrooms with a single bed. I don't know why. I think it's some sort of unwritten rule in my head. But yeah, it could definitely be a child's bedroom. And then I just did a basic hallway. The hallway is absolutely huge. I were going to do like a linen closet, or we call it an airing cupboard in UK. I wouldn't call it a linen closet, but I'm trying to be like universal, so you know what I mean. But just basically a cupboard where you put your towels and your bed in and stuff like that. But I thought, you know what, we'll put a little settee up here, and then I just put down a lamp, and I think I put like a plant in the corner or another lamp around the other corner. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it quite basic. And then for the garage, obviously we don't have cars in The Sims 4, but in my dream house I would have a garage. It would have a built-in garage, because I think that's, you know, it would be a good thing to have somewhere to put your car, but also to put like other things like bikes and gym equipment and your Christmas decorations and stuff like that. So I didn't put a lot of stuff in the garage just because I kind of imagined that it would be my partner's space, so it'd have their bike and their gym equipment and stuff, and I didn't want to like over clutter it. Also, later on, I forget that I wanted dogs. I forget that I needed things for the dogs, so I had to put down the beds in the garage, and I felt so bad about it. You'll see a bit later on that you'll see me looking for a space to put down 2 dog beds. There weren't any space. I completely like forgot about it. So unfortunately I had to put the dog beds in the garage. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's like a bad thing. I don't know. Any dog owners, is it bad to let your dog sleep in a garage? Maybe some people do it, but for me, I felt really bad about it because we've got this like nice furnished comfy house, and then the dogs have got to sleep on like a stone floor. I just felt proper bad, so I think in the game I'll move some objects so that the dogs can like sleep in the living room or something. But yeah, I also did a laundry room. It's my absolute dream to have a utility room or a laundry room where I could have a washing machine and my dryer, where I could do my ironing. All that stuff's kept separate from the rest of the house. I always think like proper rich people have these, and only rich people have like utility rooms. I think it's quite common in like other countries though, like in America I think it's more common to have like a laundry room or a utility room, and I think in Australia they have them as well. But yeah, they're not that commonplace in the UK. I remember once I went to somebody's house when I was at college. I like visited somebody and I asked where the toilet was, and there were like 2 doors down this corridor, and I couldn't remember if she'd said the first one on your left or just the door on your left in general. So I was like, oh my god, where is it? So I went to the first door, and as I walked in, and I could have sworn she said first door on your left, but I went into a laundry room anyway, into a utility closet where they had like counters, and it was like a stone floor, and then they had like a washing machine and then a dryer, and then they had like a space where you can put clothes to dry, like indoors, like an airer or a clothes horse. Is that what they're called? A clothes horse? I feel like they're not called that. I normally call it an airer, but you know, just like a frame that you hang your clothes on in your house. Yeah, they had one of them as well with clothes on it, and I walked in and I thought, oh my god, I'm in a rich person's house. And that was what like made me think this person's rich, because they had a laundry room. But yeah, that's always been a dream of mine, to have one of them, and to have a second bathroom as well would be pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, then I did the office, which is where I imagine my sim would record videos from. I kind of did my own like dream office, I guess, which I have an office now. I mean, I live in a 3-bedroom house and we only need 2 bedrooms. So my office is like a converted bedroom, so it's the smallest bedroom in the house, and then I've just converted it into my office for the sake of streaming and recording videos and everything. So I thought, why not, you know, in my dream home, have a proper little office that's downstairs, and I could do whatever I want with it. I mean, I could do whatever I want with this room, but I'm also keeping in mind that if we ever move out, it'll need to go back to like a potential bedroom, because that's essentially what it is. And also, as my kids get older, if they turn around and they're like, we don't want to share anymore, then I've got to keep that in mind as well. So I can do what I want with it to some extent, but yeah, I thought for the sake of the dream house, I'm going to decorate it exactly how I like. And I put quite a few plants in the room. It is my dream to have a house filled with plants. Unfortunately, I cannot take care of them. Every time I get plants, they die. I have had, I think in the past 18 months or 2 years, something like that, I have had over 40 plants, and I have 2 left. Out of all those 40 plants, 2 of them have survived. One of them is an aloe vera plant, and it is dying. It's currently in my office. I can see it right now. 2 of its leaves have gone black. I need to like cut them away, and the other leaves are like dropping. I think I've overwatered it, which is what I tend to do. I either underwater or overwater. So unfortunately, I think that one's. I'll try and keep it alive, but I don't know. But yeah, even the hardiest of plants, people are like, oh, get a snake plant. They're so easy to look after. Well, I've killed 2 of them, so I try my best. But yeah, did put a lot of plants through the house and in the office, because I thought it would be a dream of mine to be able to take care of plants. And I also put in these like little dog figurines, because I intended to have 3 dogs in the dream house. Like I also made like a dream family, I guess. Like I made my partner and the dogs and everything. And you'll see the dogs in the screenshots. But I ended up not making 3 dogs. I just had 2, because I thought they're in space. I already struggled to put down the pet beds and stuff, so I ended up just having 2 dogs in the game. So I got a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler, which are my 2 favourite breeds, and then my 3rd favourite breed is a Golden Retriever. So that's what the little figurines are for. And then I also put down the little figurines from Discover University. I made a Bob Pancakes one, because he's my favourite sim, Cowplant, because I have a Cowplant figurine, and then Bonehilda, because I have a picture of Bonehilda. So I thought, you know, it's kind of like real life. And then for the living room, just kept this quite basic. It's quite small, which was my intention. I didn't want to have a massive living room. I could have made it like 1 tile bigger, and I think it would have been slightly better if it were 1 tile bigger, but I just decided to leave it. Like I said, it took me long enough to decide on floor plan, so I just left it. Kept it quite basic. I don't spend an awful lot of time in my living room. Most of my time is either spent in my bedroom or in my office. So I didn't want like too much going on in here. It's just a place to sit down, and mainly my kids occupy this room in real life, so I just wanted it to suit my sort of interior style, and just for a place where you can sit down and play video games. So I've just put a TV on the wall, a games console, a basic couch, and then I put a fireplace as well, because I would like to have a fireplace. And the one from Snowy Escape, it is from Snowy Escape, isn't it? That's my favourite one. Not that I think it's very practical. It's like an open fire in it, so I don't know if that would be that safe to have in my house, but it looks nice, so yeah. And then for the kitchen, I actually made a room version of this a while ago, and I made a short out of it, I think, as well. I think it was called like Modern Family Kitchen or something like that. I just recreated this. I just thought it's my ideal sort of kitchen. I'd love to have like a grey, like brickwork, and then the green cabinets with like white tops and that. I just like that. Although I think I would prefer wood top cabinets. And yeah, I just thought I'd recreate that, and put it into like a bigger space. When I was building it as well, that grey brick, from Get Famous, my partner were looking at it and he went, there's way too much mortar between them bricks, and I never noticed it before, and now it is absolutely ruined that brick wallpaper, because I'm just like, it's 50% like mortar and then the rest is brick. Like, what is happening? Like, if you look closely at it, there's way too much like gaps between the bricks. I mean, I love it, but now I'm just like, he's right and he's ruined it for me. Also, speaking of my partner, I've just reached 1,000 subscribers actually, so thank you for that first of all, but I'm actually going to be doing like a video for it. I put on the community tab a poll asking what I should do to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. The options were to play a retro Sims game, do a build challenge, teach my partner, in brackets Sims noob, to build, and speedrun rags to riches. And the most popular option ended up being teaching my partner how to build. I'm going to be recording it on the weekend, so we'll see how long it takes us to record, and then I've got to edit it and all that as well, so yeah. But yeah, then for the rest of the kitchen, I just wanted it to be like a nice family space. Like, when you have a family, the kitchen I find is the most occupied room. It's got the most foot traffic, everybody's in and out wanting meals cooked and snacks and getting a cup of tea. And I imagine you'd have the dogs in and out all the time if you had dogs, like getting the food or a drink of water or whatever. So it needs to be a big space. Fortunately, in my actual house, the kitchen is our biggest room because it's like a kitchen diner. And I think I prefer that. I think I prefer to have the dining room as part of the kitchen rather than having a separate room. Because I just think, like, can you imagine clearing the table, like walking from one room to another? It'd just be a bit of a nightmare for me. So yeah, I thought I'd have it all in one room. And yeah, I really do like how this turned out. I like the colours that I chose. I really love that flooring from Jungle Adventure. It's my favourite wood flooring in the game. And I also used the paintings again in here from the Decor to the Max kit. I didn't really know that the paintings, you know, the one that's on the wall near the dining table, and then I also put them in the office as well, but a white version. I didn't know that that pack had them until the other day when I built a room. And I just thought, what a nice like little wall hanging picture thing to have. It's really cute actually. I don't think it's worth getting the pack just for that. In fact, I think they just released some new kits, didn't they? That little campers one. I don't know. I saw the little campers thing and I would like to know other people's opinions on it, to be fair. Also as well, before I forget, we don't have kettles in The Sims 4. It's an absolute atrocity. I can't believe that they've not put kettles in, but they've put like witches and, you know, a cupcake machine. Don't know why witches and cupcake machine specifically offend me more than not having a kettle. They don't really, but you know what I mean? Like, we don't have kettles in The Sims. We have a tea maker, but that's not a kettle, that's a tea maker. And we have coffee machines. So I put down the tea set from My Wedding Stories, which is a bit fancy compared to the rest of the kitchen. We've got more of a modern vibe going on in the kitchen, and then I went with like a fancy looking tea set. But I thought, we need a tea set in this house, otherwise I'm not playing The Sims. But yeah, what was I saying before? Oh, I forgot now. Do you know, something typical, isn't it, that I got distracted because I needed to tell you about the lack of kettle, and then I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, it was the kits. I remember now, it was the kits. So they brought out 2 new kits. I think they've been released now. I think the release date was the 23rd of May. One's like a clothing one, which I'm not bothered either way about the clothing kits usually. They've brought out like a modern, it's like modern chic or modern, no it isn't, it's called Moonlight something, and then a little campers kit. I'm sure you'll have seen it by now. I'll put some pictures on screen to refresh your memory or to show you in case you've not seen them. I would love to know the people's opinions on it because I saw a lot of people upset really about it. I mean, not to like bash on the Sims community, but whenever the Sims announce anything, there's people that are upset, and I completely understand it, don't get me wrong. You know, there's things that people ask for and then they bring out like modern menswear which nobody asked for. You know, it's a nice kit, don't get me wrong, it's okay. I'm not really bothered about the kit itself, but you know, no one really asked for that. People ask for updated babies and cars and horses and farms. They're asking for farms for ages. And then Sims are just like, no, we're going to actually bring out, you know, all these other things that nobody really asked for that should have really been part of other packs, like the toddler stuff and My First Pet stuff and the backyard patio stuff, for example. But yeah, I would love to know people's opinions on it. I've heard a couple of people say that the little campers kit it's like stuff from the movie hangout mixed with outdoor retreat, mixed with like kids room or something like that, or parenthood. I'd have to agree. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, this reminds me of outdoor retreat. But yeah, I would love to know what other people think. I did see a lot of angry people on Instagram talking about it, and in The Sims, like comments and stuff on their social media pages. So yeah, let me know what your opinions on the kits. I'm kind of sick of them. I've said it before, I'm kind of sick of them. They do feel a bit cash grabby, I'm not going to lie. It kind of seems like they're recycled content from things that should have been in other packs. And yeah, I'd like to know other people's opinions. But yeah, with that being said, I'll talk about the back garden. So the back garden is huge. I really like what I did with the back garden. I had a lot of fun putting it together. I decided to do like a little shed because I thought, you know, that would be nice to have a shed in your garden. We actually used to have a shed, but it went all like rotten and stuff with the rain because the roof blew off one time when we had like a bad windstorm. So I thought I'd have like a nice like brick shed to put like garden equipment in it and stuff, and like bikes and a woodworking bench. But it wouldn't be a woodworking bench in real life. It'd just be a place where my partner can like put their tools and stuff, I guess. And then I put down some like equipment for like kids to play with. I don't know if kids can actually play with the basketball court, but they can go on the swing, so they've got the swing. And then I also put down a place for the Sims to like sit and eat. I'd love to have some outdoor furniture and have like a big like barbecue area. I don't think it'd get used a lot though. That's why I've never really bothered with garden furniture, to be honest. We get about 3 weeks of hot weather in UK, so it's kind of not really worth investing in getting some like nice garden furniture. So what I also did with the shed was I put some like fold up what are they called, chairs, foldable chairs, camping chairs. You can't fold them up in The Sims, so I decided to stack them on top of each other, just to kind of, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people in the shed, they have like spare chairs when they have like people over, if they ever have a barbecue and stuff, so I decided to do that. And then I put down, like I said, a few tools in the shed for my partner, who has a lot of tools, but they're all at his job, so he don't really need space in a shed for his tools. But it's always good to, you know, I guess have some garden equipment and to have some shelving in your shed. I would personally recommend you keep your tools in your house. Don't have them in your garden, in your shed, where they could potentially be stolen. So if anybody's watching this and they want to rob us of our tools, we don't actually have any. This is just The Sims. And any tools that we do have in the house, where we bought them from Aldi for like 12 quid, so please don't break into my house. But yeah, I also sized down one of the bikes from Discover University. Obviously it's not functional, but we don't have kids bikes. Again, another missed opportunity to have bikes for kids. So kids can't use the bike, so I just decided to size one down. And then at this point, this is where I remembered I've not put down anything for the dogs. There weren't any space for the pet beds, which is like, I felt so bad that I forgot to put down pet beds. It's not real. I need to remind myself it's not real. Those dogs that I have are not real. They're not going to be cold in the garage. They're going to be absolutely fine. But I felt so bad. And then I put some dog treats in the kitchen as well on top of the microwave, which I know you're not supposed to put stuff on top of your microwave. But it's The Sims 4. You can in The Sims 4, nothing happens. So I just put some dog treats down. They're just decorative. Your Sims don't actually use them. And then yeah, I put down the garden equipment. I did a lot of planning of this build, like that's why it took me so long, I think, because there were a lot of planning that went into it. And I think I've just had a slow week as well. Like today feels like it should be Friday at least, but it's Tuesday, and I'm just like, what is happening? But yeah, then I just decided to put down a area for your Sims to sit around the fire. I'd love to have a little fire pit in my garden, although I feel like practically it'd be a lot of effort and it'd be a bit of a nuisance. Like imagine scraping all the ashes out of it all the time, and it'd probably be a bit annoying for your neighbours as well. Like it'd just stink of smoke every time that you use it. So imagine that would be, now that I think about it, maybe I don't want one of them. But you know, in The Sims, I feel like the other Sims were not bothered about the smell of smoke or out like that, so it's fine. I decided to do a dog house as well, for a place that your dogs can go in and sit down. In the screenshots it is a bit bigger because it were too small for the dogs, but it is functional. Your dogs will walk in it and they'll lay down and everything. So this was my dream house. I hope that you enjoy the screenshots. I do recommend that you stick around to watch them because they're very cute. There's a lot of footage of the dogs and screenshots of the dogs that I'll put in as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you again so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I feel like I did say thank you in one of my other videos, but I also feel like I dreamt that. So, you know, I'll say thank you 4 times if I want. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.